As you can probably tell, it was another physical practice for us. The guys, full pads. I thought were really focused and intense. I thought the defense's pad level and physicality was better today than it was yesterday, which is encouraging. The offense didn't run the ball as well as they did yesterday when we went goods on goods, which is obviously a positive for us when the defense is playing like that. They made it difficult on us, but I like the intensity. I wanted to say I appreciated our scout team work by the scout team guys today. I thought they gave really good looks. They made it hard on both sides, which is how it's supposed to be. When our practices are really good and we again develop the depth that we want, our scout team guys make it hard, and that's how you get good. And I thought that was a real positive today. Obviously, we saw Hadori do some offensive stuff today, which will be indicative of Saturday night. So all in all, I thought it was really good work, really good special teams work, and we got to clean some stuff up for Thursday and Friday before Saturday.
Speaking of Hadori, he looked like a little frustrated on offense. He dropped the ball and got shoved out of bounds. When we asked him about it afterward, he flat out denied it. Said, "I don't even remember that." What do you make of that?
I think Hadori, he holds himself to a really high standard because he's always performed. And when he doesn't make a play that he's so accustomed to making, that a lot of times we take for granted, that it just looks so routine, but he makes it look routine. And when he doesn't make those plays, a time or two, there can be frustration, but that's okay. That's being a competitor. I don't know a great competitor that hasn't come off to the side and been upset when they didn't make a play that they're accustomed to making. So I actually called him over after. I said, I'm not worried about it. You're going to catch it on Saturday. And he kind of laughed at me. And I said, no, I'm serious. You will. And we're going to call it and he'll catch it. So, I just think that's, again, I've never seen a great competitor not be frustrated when things don't go the way they want them to go. I mean, you can go to Bo Jackson snapping the bat over his leg. I mean, you can name numerous occasions. So I don't make that much of it.
Talk about pad level and improve. One of the guys we're seeing is Rasheem Green.
Yeah.
Tell us what.
Yeah, Rasheem's cleared to play Saturday, which is positive. He's really performed well the last 2 days. I think that we see, for a big man, he's very explosive. He's got long arms, but he's explosive, and he's made really good progress coming off the injury. And we're excited to see him play. Again, he hasn't gotten as much work as the other guys, and so we'll have to see how he goes throughout the ball game. But he's looked really good the last 2 days.
Do you plan to play him Saturday night?
Yes, for sure.
Another freshman who's gotten a chance to be one of the ones is Chuma. What have you seen from him this fall?
What I like about Chuma, when you see him, he's he's a little unassuming. He's obviously extremely athletic. He's got long arms. But what I like about him, sometimes you have to watch him. He's a physical, nasty guy, and it's not just the nice guy, big offensive lineman. He's a nasty guy. He likes to finish guys. So we're going to see Chuma play Saturday night as well. He'll definitely play for us.
You've obviously used blue shirting to kind of pad the roster a little bit. How did the numbers affect your decisions as far as redshirting guys this year?
We really didn't base it off of that, Mike. We base it off of our depth on our roster. And when we looked at position groups and depth, and we looked forecasting into the future of who we might lose at specific positions, we looked at our roster today rather than trying to, what's coming from behind and what's down the road. It's what's best for us today. And so, we're obviously going to redshirt some guys. There's going to be guys that we thought might redshirt, and 2 weeks from now might end up playing because of injury or whatever might occur. So it's never set in stone, but we'd like to develop a roster. I think one thing that's cool about this roster today, we have 10 kids in grad school on our roster today. 7 of them are starters. So to me, that shows some maturity on this team. When you look at the really good teams that, say, Stanford had a few years back, or even Boston College last year, those are veteran teams with graduate student type players, and we're fortunate to have that this year. Even though we've got some talented young players that are going to play for us, we've got guys that have been through it and that are mature enough to handle adversity that I think are going to help us. So yeah, redshirting can help you down the road, but we're trying to do what's best for our team today.
What kind of challenge does that present with recruiting in 2016 to have 5 off the table?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to field the best, 19 or 20, 21, whatever we can make work, scholarships that we can that fit needs, but yet really we're just trying to develop our roster as a whole. And we've got some holes to fill, we definitely do. But also we're just trying to raise the quality on this roster, continue to raise it, and I think we've done a good job of that in the last 2 classes. We had some needs to fill, obviously, on the offensive line, which I think we did a good job of 2 years ago. With the defensive line this year, I think we did a good job of doing that. We're going to have other needs as they continue to come, but really it's more about just quality players across the board of the 20 guys or so that we signed.
Now that you've seen this freshman class and it's highly touted as it was, is there a chance it's almost maybe seeing them they're better than you even thought they might be?
Dan, I'll hold back on till I see him with the lights on. I guess there's again that the transformation from high school to this practice field is a huge one, and I recognize it. Our coaches recognize it. The veteran players recognize it. It takes the younger players a minute to figure that out. Then the transformation from Howard Jones Kennedy to the Coliseum is another big step, and I think that we'll find out a lot about these guys and the guys that are comfortable enough to go in there and play. But so far, I've been very impressed. I mean, the 3 backs have done nothing but impress us in the way they worked. Obviously the DBs and what they've done, the defensive linemen, Sam Darnold, what he's been able to do as a true freshman here, even though likely to redshirt, but he's a good player. So we like the class. How much they all play and get utilized, I think, remains to be seen. The season is a long one. It's a journey, right? And injuries play into that. Other guys continue to mature and get better along the way and can step up. But, I could rave about a bunch of guys. Porter Gustin, what he's been able to do to rush the passer. Tyler Petit, his pass catching ability. A lot of these guys have done really good things for us, so we're excited about them.
One more?
We'll go ahead.
How's Trey Madden kind of looked through camp, and what are you expecting kind of going into the season?
I think Trey's looked really good, Gary. What I forget about Trey, he's a little more explosive than I probably gave him credit for. His cutting ability, his ability to accelerate through the hole. He's got great balance, and he's a big guy who's got natural pass catching ability. His football IQ is about as high as a running back as I've been around. Obviously that goes back to playing quarterback in high school and playing both sides of the ball since he's been here. So he understands pass protection and just the nuances of the game. So I expect him to play really, really well Saturday night. I expect him to be kind of our workhorse, to say, and the other guys will obviously offset that. But I expect him to have go out and play good football for us.
Any update on Justin, Claude, and Lamar?
No, I doubt. All 3 of them are really doubtful for Saturday. Justin and Lamar are probably they're all about on course for. I think they're all hopeful for next Saturday. They're all working, but we don't know. The injuries they have. Claude's is a little bit more clear to us. We know what it is, but when you crack ribs and you crack cartilage in a rib, everybody heals a little bit differently, and so it just takes its time and how your body adjusts to it to make that happen.